the September edition of Entrepreneurship Clinic right here on PCG TV. In thy light, there is light. And today, this is brought to you by the Development and Social Services Department in collaboration with PCG TV. And we have another exciting topic for you on the show today. But before we do that, my name is Mavis Nakole Ayi. Stick and stay with us. We are right back. Welcome back on Entrepreneurship Clinic right here on PCG TV. And on today's show, we are looking at networking, how essential networking can be to your startup, to whatever venture that you are in as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, or whatever field that you are in. This is for you because everybody needs someone so they can be lifted somewhere. And so we have very seasoned personnel in the studio here to have the conversation with us. But remember that we are sponsored by Salem Water and Salem range of products. We have the tissue, we have cereal mix, we have hair food, we have shea butter, we have palm oil, and a host of other things. Institutions, and get some of these products for yourself. And so with me in the studio to have a conversation around networking today is the person right at my left is Madam Linda Ejay, who is a development specialist and also has over 2 decades of experience in TVET as Technical Vocational Education and Training, and she is the Director for Vocational Training for Females. I think I got it right. Also have in the studio the gentleman with us, Mr. Emmanuel Adenchi Jr., who is a human developer by calling, and then also a TVET advocate. He is a learning and development coach as well, and a founder and team lead for Same Consult. There are a lot of other things that he's done, that they have done, but we'll stick to this for the time being, and then later on maybe we'll unveil the rest of them. Welcome, lady and gentleman.
Thank you.
Great, it's good to have you here. I was just reading the profiles. I'm like, wow, these people might have, if I not might, they will have a lot of experience when it comes to networking. Because to do some of these programs, it takes a lot of people, dealing with people. So a lot of networking there. Just to remind you that you can join us also on social media, YouTube PCG TV, on Facebook PCG TV as well. Do well to share the link with someone to learn about networking and how that helps us to build our businesses. And so let me get right into it with our guest for today. And maybe we can look a little at VTF. Both of you are coming from the Vocational Training for Females institution or the organization. Sure. So maybe, Madam Linda, tell us a little about the organization, being the director.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mavis. And we are happy to be hosted this afternoon on this show. So the Vocational Training for Females program, VTF, works under the auspices of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. And for the past 2 decades, we've been committed to exploring innovative ways of advancing technical and vocational education and training in Ghana that would impact positively on employment creation for the youth. So our focus has been promoting vocational skills development, TVET, for the young people. We've also looking at entrepreneurship development. Okay. We've been looking at career planning and counseling. And we also believe in a systematic approach, you know. So if there is any way of discussing or addressing the unemployment challenge in the country, then we have to look at it holistically, you know. So we have the different levels. So at the policy level, what are the challenges that we need to address? At the institutional level, what challenges there exist that needs to be looked at? And then at the micro level, what are the problems? Okay. So we have an integrative approach of addressing all these so that at the end, we can have a system, you know, a conducive system of vocational skills training that responds to the employment needs of the country and of the youth as well. So that has been our focus, you know, all these years.
That's very crucial over there, looking at unemployment, because some of these things, and in our sphere as Ghana, sometimes people doing technical vocational things are considered people who are not really, but that is actually what we need as a country when we look at the things that are happening, because all the things they are sitting on right now were done by vocational technical people. Meanwhile, we don't really focus on those.
Yeah.
So I think that's crucial. Let me come to Mr. Emmanuel. Junior.
Yes, Simon Adenki Jr., don't worry.
Yes, thank you, Junior. Yes, you are a business development officer with the VTF, meaning you work with people a lot. Just a little about your work in the organization.
All right. Thank you, Mavis, for having us.
Mm.
Yeah. So I want to add something briefly to what Madam talked about. So we run several projects, right? We are into advocacy, we are into Tibet awareness creation,
Okay.
and then we are into preparing young people for the world of work, right? And as a business development officer, basically what we do is that we try as much as possible to equip young entrepreneurs with predominantly they are women.
Okay.
So women-led enterprises. We give them the capacities they need, the capacity building services they need. We take them through topics that are relevant to the build up of their businesses. We follow them up also, and we have a network of them. So it's sort of an alumni group that's after going through a training, you by choice, optional, join, and then we call it networks, network of women entrepreneurs.
Oh, that's interesting. Networks. Mentioning even that group alone in the network, I'm looking at how our topic for today comes in so directly. We are looking at networking. And so for the field that you've worked in, the examples that you've cited, what can you tell us about issues when it comes to networking in the field of entrepreneurship?
All right. In fact, there are a lot of skills young people who have started their own enterprise. We believe that everybody who is able to, anyone who is able to birth an enterprise sort of has given birth. We have the womb child and we have the brain child.
Okay.
So your business is your brain child. The way you name your womb child, you also have to name your brain child.
That's
so give
insightful.
it a business name. Yeah. And so we take them through courses, programs, topics, and then we, as part of the trainings that we give them, we expose them to general characteristics an entrepreneur should have.
Okay.
And one of the characteristics we want to, we normally and usually emphasize is networking.
Okay.
Right. And so, as a network organization, as a networking initiative, we have come up with the networks.
Okay.
All right. So networking as a skill and a quality of an entrepreneur plays a major role if the entrepreneur is going to scale up, if you are going to experience, if you're going to move from stagnation to growth, if you are going to expand and you want to really leave obscurity into the limelight, you will need to develop or cultivate networking skills.
Okay.
And so networking as a skill as a quality of an entrepreneur plays a major role when it comes to business growth, enterprise development.
Yeah. Let me come to Madam Linda. I was just thinking, aren't our friends, our parents, and our relatives around us our networks?
Yes, they are. We can say they are networks,
Okay.
but this network, we can say they are indigenous network. They are given to us by nature, freely. But then this networking, it's something that you apply some consciousness, intentionality. You deliberately say, I want to network. But sometimes it's also given, like friends and all that. And so one of the things we even advise young or budding entrepreneurs to do is that when you begin a business, you don't hurriedly go for credit or go for a loan. You look within our internal networks. We talk to friends, we talk to family, we talk to, siblings, for support. So this is our fundamental support systems, given to us indigenously, but we need to really work at them. And that is the skill and quality Emmanuel was talking about. So beyond the family, beyond the relations, beyond the school ones, we have the schools, alumni, and all that, they usually we call the horizontal networks, So they are given naturally. There is that tendency that we relate to friends, but we have the one that we must deliberately, with some effort, build, with a purpose towards the business, So from the from Emmanuel's submissions, you realize that we promote it and something we advise young people, to cultivate that habit, of doing. And it needs to be managed. It needs, because it's intentional, it needs to be planned. So I think we would be able to discuss the network with you and how consciously we've been able to set up that network and how it is functioning. But I also would want to add that there are certain experts, gives us the knowledge base why networks are important. So, for instance, there's something that we call the homophily principle. And the homophily principles works on the basis that, birds of the same feather flock together. And again, there is this saying that familiarity breeds contempt. But in this case, similarity breeds connectedness. Similarity breeds connections. So people of like-minded nature doing same things. We went to school together, we trained together, we are at the same workplace together. I mean, there is something that brings us together. So there is that tendency, that similarity connects us. So that is natural. But when that is done, we need to nurture it and develop it further. So the homophily principle is one. And then we also have this knowledge base that what we call the diffusion of innovation principle, that says that when people come together, it's very easy for us, for innovation to diffuse. Yes. So we will soon talk about our network experience. We entered into the network with young people starting one single stream of business. But with time, we realize that others have earned or learned other skills, and they are able to, help other people to also gain this skill within the network. And so something that you would have spent some money to do, some time to do, because the innovation is within the network, you are able to share with the others, so the innovation diffuses quite easily. For instance, there is a trend in fashion. Now they talk about the corset making, they talk about the heat press and all that. One or two people learn it, they come in with that innovation. And then everybody comes together and learn it, so that now with one skill stream, people are acquiring different, so that is also the knowledge with which we are trying to nurture these networks amongst us, And then there is also the embedded principle that says that within the network, we have the resources that we can put together, We may not have to go out for anything because everything is embedded within us. We have different skills, different talents, different knowledge, different attributes that we can harness, bring together, so that we can be able to promote ourselves or lift ourselves together. So these are some of the knowledge base, that networking thrives on.
I see a lot of, so that is the experience sharing from the VTF program, if I get you right. And I think that's very important because then we are even looking at the essence of the networking already. So once you are part of the community, whatever that community contains, you have access to it. You don't even have to pay for it. And sometimes it can't, even if it's not conscious, you are likely to learn something from someone without deliberately saying that I want to learn. But because someone is doing it, you get to just, be exposed to it. And that's very important over there that I'm sure we'll be delving deeper into it in the course of the conversation. So if you're just joining us, this is Entrepreneurship Clinic, the September edition, brought to you by the Development and Social Services Department. And in this edition, we are looking at networking with seasoned personnel in the studio here. And we have talked, in fact, they have already said a lot of things, how essential networking can be to our businesses and how essential our communities are to whatever ventures that we are in. And so stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the September edition of Entrepreneurship Clinic right here on PCG TV. And if you are just joining us, we are having a conversation on networking, how important networking can be to our different ventures, to our entrepreneurship journey, and how they can even be to us as people, as individuals, how essential these are for us. What kind of network do you belong to? Do you even have networks? Are you deliberate about selecting your networks? That is why we are here to have the conversation today. And we are sponsored by Salem Water and the Salem range of products. And so we have cereal mix, we have shea butter, we have hair food, we have other things. And so just get close to any of the Presbyterian institutions and then you can get any of these products. Either you want to trade in them or you just want to consume them. We are there for you. And so do get some. And then also Salem Water. Do well to get Salem Water for yourself. And we are having a conversation with our resource persons or our guests in the persons of Mr. Emmanuel Ademchi Jr. and Madam Linda A.J., all in the development sphere and with the VTF institution, which we are talking about. And so we left off talking about how essential networking can be and sharing the experience of the VTF program that you are running, and then how the knowledge and the skills are being diffused because of the network that you have formed for the team. And so let's come back to look at how deliberate, maybe there are people who may not be part of any program like VTF, but they need networks to also let their businesses go on. Like he mentioned, from stagnation to something. To growth. Thank you. Yes. And so you need to move from that side. And so maybe I should come to you, Mr. Emmanuel. How does someone identify the people who are relevant to their field, so that they don't end up, like she mentioned, we have people who just, are natural, our friends and all of that are around. But to select deliberate people to say that these are the people I want to work with, what should you be looking out for? What process is involved?
Thank you again. All right. So the first thing I want to emphasize is that networking is not about just taking contacts.
Okay.
It's not
That's
about,
true.
Yes, it's not just about taking contacts, but it's about developing, first of all, initiating, building and nurturing mutual relationships. All right.
Okay.
And so you are looking at people who can contribute to the success of your enterprise. All right. And when it comes to people who can contribute to your enterprise growth, you will need different classes of people. So we are looking at collaborators or partners. We are looking at clients or customers. You are looking at mentors or advisors. And you are also looking at people who can fund or investors.
Okay.
Right. And probably looking
Maybe
at
donors for people,
donors,
social
yes.
enterprise.
Yes. And so these are all classes of people you will need for your enterprise to move forward. All right. But to engage any of these people, first of all, as an entrepreneur, settle down on your values. Know your mission, know your vision, know what you are about, what product you are in, and you should be very fluent in terms of communicating it. All right. So when you settle that, then you are now ready to venture into the exploration of who can help me. And then you come up with, and there are several avenues. Make sure you are always going for conferences, going for programs, exhibitions that seeks to help promote enterprise growth, because you are going to meet a lot of people. All these classes of people, you meet them, especially even at exhibitions. And so you will need to be intentional about it. You go for exhibitions, you ensure you go with your complimentary cards, well designed, and your appearance also matters.
Okay.
If you are meeting people for the first time at a program, the way you even approach them. Some approach people and they have nothing to say. And they just want to take contacts.
And why did you approach?
And so we have something we call elevator pitch. Crafting who you are, then what you do, and then how does the person you are talking to comes in the picture, and then what you are trying to achieve. You should be able to summarize it within 30 seconds and make first impression. It is said that the first 30 seconds you have with any individual, you have the opportunity to either mar or make your future.
That's,
So it's
that's
very
incredible. Because sometimes you find a lot of people going places and then they take a lot of contact, but they come back and they don't even reach out to
You
the
put
person.
them everywhere.
You don't even remember the person in the
Exactly.
next week. So that's like a challenge, or that's like it doesn't work, it doesn't get anywhere. But are there any cases where you kind of approach somebody that's, oh, I want you to do this, or I'm in this kind of business, and because you do A, B, C, and D, I think you fit in here and there, and but they are not interested in whatever you do?
It's possible. Yes, it's possible. You know, that's why you need to know who. I mean, you go for a program, either you are in church or a special program, seminar conference for business people, or even a general public space program, and then you attend, and someone comes to speak from FDA, Food and Drugs Authority, and the person, you are thinking of registering your business. And there are processes you would have to go through. And so this person comes to deliver a talk about how to go about a lot of things. Probably the person may not even be there at the program to talk about FDA processes. He was talking about relationships. And then he made mention of the fact that in his office as the so-and-so at FDA, then you pick it from the discussion. Right after the meeting, you gently wait behind, ensure you meet this person. And then immediately you have a need. You connect with the person. But there are instances where sometimes you just need leads. So they will guide you to other people. And so you approach people like that, and then they will guide you to meet other people. So they themselves cannot be of help to you in terms of what exactly you need, but they can be a sort of a snowball. They serve a snowball purpose.
That's really great about there, because I was just thinking about the fact that I've not heard or seen anybody approaching somebody to say, I want to maybe contribute this to your venture. I hardly hear of those ones. It's always about what the next person can bring. Auntie.
Well, so Yima mentioned about shared values, mutual benefits, your own value system as a person, and then if it's a network, an organization, we are looking at the culture, the values, and the norms of that organization. And you should be able to match it, you know, with whoever you want to network with. You know, so it could be possible that looking at your own value system, what you want, I mean, the ideals of whatever you have started, you could approach somebody and the person may not be interested in what you do. So it's very possible, you know, that you could approach somebody. Yeah, but sometimes even with VTF, I think we have approached quite a number of congregations to say that this is what we do and we are ready to offer the service. It becomes a long bureaucratic issue. So we are ready with the skills, we are ready with a training program, we are ready with a model, but the people are not ready to receive it. So it's not always, that we are going for help, but sometimes we are also ready to give out to people. We want you to gather the young people for us, and then we will come and then give them some orientation, because we have it. So we want to bring it to the disposal of other young people, but the people are not ready. So I think it's a similar situation that we are coming in with some support, but the other person says, I'm not ready. So it can be, versa. Sometimes also you can approach a donor you want. The donor is not interested in what you do. So we, like an organization, we also do network. So we are not even looking at the micro level. Even institutions, we network, vertically. We connect to government officials. We connect to, other organizations so that we can sell ourselves, market ourselves, and make ourselves more valuable and more visible, in the other.
He mentioned something that I want us to talk about, the different categories of networks that we may find. I didn't know even our clients are networks. I thought they are just signing us delivering things to them. But it's interesting to know that. At what point can someone say that, okay, at this point I need a collaborator, at this point I need a contributor, at this point, is collaborator different from partner? I don't know.
It's the
But
same.
okay, the same.
Can be
Well,
used, yeah.
so at what point can you say that this is the kind of network that I need to be in so that my business can flourish?
So it depends on, we want you at the beginning to think of it as one of the qualities or attributes of an entrepreneur.
Okay.
You really need to get it. You know, there are a number of qualities that an entrepreneur must exhibit, you know, or must inculcate in them. There are quite a number of them. Networking, as we mentioned, is one of them. So it's part of the characteristics attribute that you must work towards. So right from the beginning, you should even think of it. But of course, at the different stages of your growth as an entrepreneur or as an individual, you come face to face or you come into reality with what things you need at a particular point in time. So from beginning, probably we need to be networked with information on how to start your business, other things, the legal processes, the regulations and all that. So at that level of beginning, you know, you need the networks that will connect you to these persons. So I want to go to the registrar general. I have to go and register my business. You know, somebody links you to somebody. Then the person helps you get your business registered. I want this. At a particular point in time, you realize that this is what I need. So how can I work myself into that network of the individuals who have it? Then you purposefully and intentionally work yourself, you know, because so you can have different types of networks and then different types of networking strategies. So even we mentioned networks, but even with networks, we encourage them to also join other seasoned, other successful entrepreneurship groups. So we want, at a point in time, there is this network also called Spinnet. I think I've forgotten, but Abantu, you know, these are also seasoned, successful network groups, networks of seasoned entrepreneurs. So at this level, we have exposed you to networking amongst yourself, but we expect you to also network with other, you know, so it depends on, it gets to a time when you need capital injection in your business to grow. It's very important. You know, so whom do I know in this sector? We have financial NGOs, we have non-financial financial institutions. You know, so how do we network ourselves into this so that we are able to get some support in that? And I'll give the example of when COVID came, and the government wanted to give the relief, the support to entrepreneurs. What they said was that they needed entrepreneurs or businesses that can easily be identified or that can be accounted for. So they were looking for groups, business that works within networks, within associations, so that they could support them. Unfortunately, because we had this business micro entrepreneurs who were in networks, they could easily come together and then seek for support. And some funding was disbursed to them to help them come out, you know, from the uncertainties or from that difficulties they found themselves during the COVID time. So depending on what you need or depending on your growth status, then you can say, I need this particular thing, and this is the people or this is the organization that can help me. So you strategize, and then you have to be strategic about it sometimes. Yes.
I see it's been very demand driven. So sometimes if you don't need a particular network and maybe you find yourself in there, then it's like just redundant, not working. So it becomes just kind of useless, if I should put it that way. So I don't know if there are cases like that and even how we can manage all of those situations. But we'll come back and talk about how we can manage the networks we find ourselves in whether they are individuals or they are even groups, associations, or like the networks that you run. You tell us, I mean, how you are managing it so that it doesn't become something people don't really need or people don't feel comfortable being in. So if you are just joining, we'll come back to that. Yes, if you are just joining us, it is the September edition of Entrepreneurship Clinic right here on PCG TV, and we are having a conversation on networking and how important it is for you to be a part of a network or be a network to somebody so that your business can thrive. Whichever business that you find yourself in, even as a person, you need certain networks so that you can also grow. And we are supported by Salem Water and the Salem range of products. Don't go away. We'll be right back to continue the conversation. Welcome back to Entrepreneurship Clinic, brought to you by the Development and Social Services Department in collaboration with PCG TV. And today we are having a conversation on networking. In this edition, you are learning a lot about how you can manage the people that must contribute or that would contribute to the business that you are running, contribute to the growth of it and not for it to decrease, because everybody is looking for success. And so you can also take notes and then share with other people as well to learn, because everybody needs the network so they can thrive wherever they find themselves. We are sponsored by Salem Water and Salem range of products. We have cereal mix, we have hair food, we have shea butter, we have palm oil, we have tissue, and every other thing, or a host of other things, not every. So you can just get close to any of the Presbyterian institutions and then get some of these products. Either you want to trade in them or you want to consume them, we are there for you. So do well to get close to us. And we are having a conversation on networking with our seasoned personnel from VTF, that's Vocational and Technical Training, or Vocational Training for Females.
Program.
Yes, the institution. And we are learning a lot from them. And so we are also present on YouTube and Facebook as PCG TV. And so do well to comment, ask questions, and we'll get the answers for you. Anyways, yes, before we left off, you were going to add up to mentioning about the other essence of even networking and the identification processes. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I think Madam Linda made mention of the fact that when you need, the question was when you need.
Yes.
How do you go about it? And what I want to add to it is that normally I tell entrepreneurs that you should have a police officer's number.
Okay.
You should have a fire service number, fire service person's number. You should have an ambulance service number. You should have a carpenter's number. You should have a teacher's number. You should have people from different sectors, different areas.
So beyond the institution, you should have a person.
Yes, you have individuals, and you should, individuals within these institutions, GRA, and Ghana Enterprise Agencies. So, you see, the idea is that you are very deliberate. You have given birth, and you want this child to grow, and this child to become influential until the child become dominates. Right? These stages, like a human being, if you see your business as a child, you will be very serious. The way we are deliberate about raising children, you should be the same way. All right, so you don't wait till the need comes. That's what I want to say. Okay. You don't wait till the need comes. So initiate the process, nurture the process, and then sustain it. All right, so we'll talk about that. Will lead us into the management.
Talking about nurturing, what should go into it? How do we manage all the people that you have mentioned? Because sometimes you realize that maybe you have the contact of someone you met in a program. After the program, you haven't talked until you need something. Then you go and contact the person. Then the person, like, because you need something, you've come to me. Then, I mean, they want to show you a little wahala. So how do you manage all of those people so you are always, I mean, in good books?
Yeah. In fact, during examination, people who are preparing for exams, I tell them that if you have not learned to converse with your mind, when it's time for you to write exams, it will be difficult for your mind to now produce things for you.
Okay.
Because if
that's deep.
Yes. And so in the same way, and so that's why people wait till when they have their exams, then they start cramming everything. You have to befriend your mind for your mind to produce information for you when you need it. In the same way, in the nurturing process, you actually have sent someone who is working with GEA, Ghana Enterprises Agency, and the person works, you fellowship with the person in church, all right? And once in a while, at church, after church, just say, oh, hi, mom, please, how are you? I wanted to check up on you and see how you are doing. Again, you have a friend who is working with Voltic, and you are running an NGO, and you definitely will need sponsorship from Voltic. Not now, but you know your space.
One day.
And yes, one day. You are a fashion designer. Your elder in church or your catechist in church is a headmaster of a school who can give you a contract of school uniforms. So you don't wait till the need arises. Keep them in mind and let them keep you in their minds. That is the essence. Let those who know you keep you in their minds and keep them also in their mind. So that's the process. What should go on? Now in nurturing it, ensure that within every, I won't say every quarter, if you are deliberate, you have a list of people you actually have their contacts already. You've established relationship with them. Within a quarter, intentionally tell yourself that, okay, I will make time to call these people. You can just choose one day and call all of them. Then you can rest it, just to refresh your presence in their mind. That's one strategy I can give for now.
Okay. Well, then I'll come to Madam Linda. Maybe we can talk about how to sustain them after you have done all of those things. Maybe you have started, engaging regularly. How do you sustain so that you don't end up, maybe after a while, then people start setting issues with you? How do you avoid some of those things?
Sure, it's quite dicey. I mean, and typically, practically, even at the family level, the kinship level, sometimes some family or relatives will call you only when they need something. And then you are like, asimesi die, onye bibi pe na ofre. Oh, sa call me so onye bibi nti na wafre me.
Pick up.
Because me who say onye bibi pe na ofre me. But under normal circumstance, I would expect that once a while you call. Oh, it's saying, and then we are building a relationship. But you don't wait till I just say, "Bia, we hear sika." I just say, "We hear bibi, we hear." Now, our friend me who call now is I know what the person needs. So typically, even in a good normal family relationship, that's how we look at it. Like Ima said, I think we have used the word intentionality, deliberate throughout. So this is something you really need to work towards. And so these days, consciously, these days we talk about, people with strong networks are able to, when we were discussing this, there was a cliche that Ima was trying to get across. And what came immediately was, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go with others, with people. So this try to emphasize, still buttress why networking is very essential, why we need to move along with people and not to go alone.
Well, and sometimes I feel like, yes, you mentioned values and interests and all of those things. Are there instances where interests do change? Or maybe you have a mission for the work that you have started now, but along the line you realize that, okay, I want to venture this way. It will be better for me rather than that way. Does that mean that your networks must change? Do you change them? Do you see where they can fit in and then keep them? Or what exactly do you do so that you don't lose people thinking, oh, I wouldn't need them? Even though, yes, he mentioned that keep them until before you even need them and all of that. But sometimes in reality, there are certain people you may not need. So how do you manage those things so it doesn't become like you have people, you drop them until the next time you need them again, the sustenance part of it?
Yes, and I think that's what I just talked about, that you don't wait till you need something before you call the person. Otherwise, immediately the person knows what you need and they can try to avoid you or something of that sort. That's so An example of the network that we have, sustaining it, this is more or less an institutional network. This is not an individual network.
Okay.
So for instance, as a person, as an individual, as an entrepreneur, if my interest changes, I may have to also strategically move to other areas. From time to time, we are evolving. Our businesses are evolving. These days, there are things we did manually, but now we have doing them technologically. We have the digital presence all over. So things are changing. And we may also need to change the relationships, or we may have to add onto the relationship or the networks
renewal.
or the networks we have, as things change. There's every now and then there is a shift in the things we do, in ideas, even in institutional development and all that. So even on the personal level, sometimes you have some friends and you realize that, this kind of friends, I can't keep on holding on to them. I can't move with them anymore because my value system has changed. I realize that if I work with this group of people, there's a scripture.
Show me your friend.
A scripture, good character, bad friends corrupt.
Good manners, yeah.
I wish we had gotten that scripture, So
Bad
there is a point,
company
yeah. So even in business, we can apply this principle also, this scripture. Bad friends will corrupt good manners. So at a point in time, if you look at the network you belong to and you realize that they won't help you, because some on the surface, they will tell you, we are in to support one another. We are in to promote your business. We are in to help you grow. But you go deep inside and realize that they are doing different things altogether. These days, there are quite a number of groups coming up. And if you go deep into it, you realize that it's just a cover-up.
Yeah.
There are other deeper things that are being done, cover-up, that may not be good for your growth, may not be good for your person.
Yeah.
That contradicts the very values that you live for or you want to.
That's just bringing to my mind that it means that the consciousness that you have talked about throughout the process means doing background checks, like proper research of the people. So someone presents something, they present what they feel you should know, but in other, areas, there are other things. So
it's just a cover-up. They are doing other things that you may not like. But on the surface, you see it as a network for women, a network for this business network. But you move into it and you realize that, it's a whole cartel, a syndicate, of wrongdoing. So I think the background check thing is also very important. So quickly, let me run you through the sustenance. So with networks, what we have done is it's with a purpose. It has a goal. And the goal is that we want to gradually see these young entrepreneurs we nurtured right from the bottom coming up. So from micro, you must move to medium, you must move to small. So that is the journey until you become big, So we also want to promote this ideal of a balanced entrepreneur. So you are an entrepreneur, but you must be balanced in every sphere of life. So this is the purpose of that network. So we are looking at your emotional, psychological, physiological, your health, mental, all the needs. That makes you a whole person. So a holistic approach to developing the entrepreneur. And I tell you, it requires a lot of planning to sustain this kind of network. So we have planning. Every year we have to do planning. What do we need to do? How can we sustain this? Even as I came in, they were thinking of, we need, once a year they recreate. We need to go out, relax, because we believe that our women entrepreneurs go through a lot of challenges, a lot of difficulties. They are thinking about everybody else and they forget about themselves. So look, this is an opportunity to let our women who are working so hard to turn the economy around, to turn the households around, for them to recreate. We are looking at the value of well-being. Relax. We take them to the seaside. We brought some pictures along. The last time we went to Pram Beach, relax. We brought in some health personnel. They came to do screening. They don't even have time to go for checkups and all that. So cervical cancer, all this breast cancer and all that. We brought somebody, screened them up. They were relaxed, they danced, they ate. And so you become refreshed. You are energized for your work.
Yeah.
And this is purposeful because this is what we want to do for these women. So in that network, these are some of the things we do to sustain them, to sustain their interest. So we are not only there to, and we are teaching them the business skills. Once in a while, we bring in seasoned entrepreneurs. Come share what you have done with them. Once in a while, we bring in a model, training programs, topics. So
That's
every time
really
and then there is something that is being done. So it's not a dormant network. It's an active network.
With
And
skillful
it's
planning.
skillful planning. So, and all that political awareness to the extent that when they even have to change leadership or get leadership for the network, we have to invite people from the Electoral Commission to take them through the election processes so that we create that political. So we are looking at a holistic person, somebody who is growing in mind, growing in skills, growing in everything. So this is a purposeful network, and that is how we have sustained it for the past 11 years. This is how we have sustained it. So it's conscious.
Yeah,
Consciously must be done.
Consciousness.
Exactly.
Otherwise, all of these things would not happen.
Will not
because it take a
happen.
lot of work.
Otherwise, you
from
just
what
take
you're
the
saying.
contact, like Ima said,
Yeah,
and then you
that
go and
ends
stay
it.
somewhere.
Yeah.
But you must make it work.
Something to keep the people around. I think we'll talk more about that, and then even look at, are there any challenges? It's not all rosy. Sometimes, I mean, once you are part of a network, there are different backgrounds and things that human behavior will set in, how those can be managed so that we don't lose sight or we don't lose the interest that brought us into the process. So this is still Entrepreneurship Clinic, the September edition. We are talking networking and how important it is for you to join a network or get networks for your business to thrive. We are going on a short break. We'll be right back to continue the conversation. Welcome back to the Entrepreneurship Clinic, the September edition, as we are talking about networking and how important it is for you in your business, in your entrepreneurship journey, in your personal life, in your professional life, in your academic life, wherever you find yourself, you need networks, and how conscious it must be in your selection of networks, whether they come naturally to you. Is that what you want, or you need to do some kind of shift so that you can get really the networks that you want to belong to? This is brought to you by the Development and Social Services Department in collaboration with PCG TV. And we are sponsored by Salem Water and Salem range of products, having cereal mix, hair food, shea butter, palm oil, groundnut paste, tissues, and a host of other things. So just get close to any of the institutions of the Presbyterian Church, and then you get some of these products for yourself. We left off talking about, sharing experience on the some of the networks, and then the holistic nature and how consciously things are planned so the network can thrive. Let me come to Mr. Emmanuel here, talking about, it's not all rosy sometimes, as I left off mentioning that good things can come out of networks. But sometimes you realize that in certain networks, whether you are in a group, whether it is an individual with networks, challenges do come up. What are some of the challenges that people must prepare for so that they can mitigate them? We'll talk about that also.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you once again.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I think that the first thing is that when it comes to networking, you are not looking at numbers.
Okay.
It's not about the numbers. It's about the right people. Okay. So when you have relationship with the right people, it's easy to manage whatever challenges that come.
Okay.
But when they are the wrong people, in terms of they are people who have conflicts of interests. All right. First of all, one of the challenge in networking is when we have mismatched expectations.
Okay.
So mismatched expectations. We all have. Can two walk together except they agree? All right. So that's one. And again, as Madam said, sometimes when unclear boundaries are not there, you see, you have not set boundaries. You are in a networking relationship with someone who has no boundaries. And sometimes they invite you to places you are not supposed to go. And they bring certain discussions you are not interested in. All right. Again, toxic relationships.
Okay.
It's really a real challenge. Sometimes as values, because of not defining clearly. You know, if you don't know what you want, anything goes for you.
Yeah.
And so that's why I said, before you begin any networking expedition, settle down on your values. What do you believe in? What do you stand for? Okay. And again, your inability to exhibit social skills. Some people, as we are talking about networking, some people may be listening to us and find it very educative and also something they can start practicing.
Yeah.
But you see, you need to sustain it with people's skills. And so you need to read books. So if you are not someone who is exposed in reading, to be a challenge to you. We have books on attitude. We have books on how to win friends and influence people, how to be a good conversationalist. If you lack these social skills, you will not be able to nurture and sustain any network relationship.
Okay. Thank you for bringing that up. Yes. You can add
Yes,
up to
okay.
challenges.
Adding on, you see, for networks, it's about human beings, and wherever two or more people gather, certainly
God
there
is
have to be
there.
conflict of ideas and conflict of interest.
Yeah.
So there are many times that we have had to settle conflicts, and we have taken it as an advantage also to teach them on leadership skills and other things. And in any group formation process, we have the storming stage. And so that one, we cannot take it out of the equation. There is certainly a time that people are now trying to find themselves in the group, in the network, and they always clash. So the conflict is always there. But we always need to work around it. It gives us the opportunity to take them through learning situation on how we can manage our own conflict. Quite recently, we did some series on emotional intelligence. So we take advantage of these challenges and then we try to provide solutions out of every challenge that comes through. There's also this challenge of group dynamics. When group meets, there is always some dynamism and some influence. So sometimes there are certain things that may not be good, but because they are in the group, we are talking about movements and how people mobilize themselves, civic action and all that. They can easily move into that. So they are being influenced by peers and other people. And it could either be for they could simply in a group, somebody can come out with a theory, with a certain concept, and everybody will be following. It might not be good, but they have been indoctrinated. Sometimes you look at some of these groups and you ask, how did these people get into this group in the first place? Realize that it's an indoctrination. They have gotten it. They have been brainwashed. So these are some of the disadvantages. It can create fragmentation also. In the group, there are people who are always visible, loud. They can hijack the group. And even in networks, we have groupings also in the network.
Cliques.
The cliques. So if you're not careful, it leads to further fragmentation of the group and it creates inequalities and some imbalances. So these challenges are there, but we try to see how best we work around them, especially in leadership roles, how we can get everybody involved to be part of the decision-making process so that some people are not left behind.
I'm just also thinking, even for individuals, let me do the donor perspective sometimes. You'd find someone in your network who may be a donor to your institution or your venture. And then along the line, there's some kind of influence that maybe puts you away from your mission or puts you away from the value, some of your values. In that instance, how do you handle so you don't lose that kind of network that supports your business like on a vast range and then still keep to your values? Because sometimes there's that kind of interest, conflict of interest over there. How does it get mitigated?
Yeah, it's interesting, but it's just like managing human resource. When you are managing human resource, it's not all the resources, human resources you have that you are happy with their attitudes, their character and all that. But there is a strength in everybody. So what you do as a human resource manager is to harness the strength in the people, use that to your benefit, and see how you can work on their weakness. So you can carry that principle onto building networks. So there is this group, there is this person, one part is good, one part is bad. How can I get that good part for myself? And then try to work, to make sure that that bad part does not influence whatever I'm doing. So you can manage them on an holistic basis. You can help them to overcome their weakness or whatever is not good, but you can still derive that positive from them. So I think it's about management, and you also have to be intentional about it. Otherwise, you end up taking the bad and the good together. But it needs to be managed like you are managing human resource.
Yeah, Mr. Iman, I don't know if you want to add up on, I mean, when those interests come in that are not in alignment with your values.
It's very important. Yeah, it's very important that some people, individuals have weak character. Weak character means that they don't have strength in their character.
Okay.
Right? We always strengthen our character when we act on our values. If you don't like stealing, an opportunity comes for you to steal, and you steal without considering your value, you weaken your character.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's very important that there are some relationships that you should be willing to just come out when it's toxic, because influence is so powerful. All right, and some too, you can do those good and bad, and then manage
segregation.
Segregation, yes. But there are some, especially when you are bound to someone who wants to sponsor you, and this person is taking you somewhere or places you don't like. You should be willing to back off, not because we are saying networking.
So anything goes. Okay, so maybe I'll just take, we are rounding up, so I'll take your final words. Madam Linda, you can share your final words. What do you have to tell entrepreneurs that are upcoming, those that are already in, but managing very small businesses? What should they, take away from all that we have said?
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. So from all that we are saying, you realize that human beings are the focus and the fulcrum of all that we do. Of course, without human beings, we can't do our business. I cannot be an entrepreneur because whatever service or product I'm promoting, it's for the need of a human being. So we can't do away with human beings. So we need to create very good relationship with the persons we come into contact with. Our customers, those who help us, those who provide support services, regulatory services, and all that. We need to create very good relationship. Relationship creating, it's deliberate. It's a conscious effort. Make it an effort, a conscious effort to develop good relationship with people. We work at it. We talk about relationships, and we have friends, and we have that, but on its own, it doesn't give you anything until you work at it. There is this concept that we've been trying to, it's thriving social capital, that apart from financial capital, the other capital that could also help us in our business to reduce transaction costs is social capital. So having just friends is not just enough to get that capital. You need an effort to nurture that relationship, and that is when you derive the capital from that society or from that social circumstance that we have. So it's something that we really need to work at. Human beings are very important, and we need to have the skills to be able to manage the people we get into contact with.
Thank you so much. That's really, really helpful over there, Mr. Emmanuel Adenchi Jr. In 30 seconds.
Yeah, I will talk about adding value. You see, people remember you for the impact you make, not what you do or what you ask for yourself.
That's true.
It's very important that sometimes people want to network, but they don't ask themselves, what can I give to this person who I'm networking with? And so I will encourage young entrepreneurs, if you have started anything very simple, small, however it is, look for places where you can give. And that's why companies spend money to do CSRs, so corporate social responsibilities. So we have personal social responsibilities that can also bring recognition.
Thank you so much for ending on that note. And Mr. Emmanuel Adenchi Jr. is a human developer by calling. He is a TVET advocate, and he is the business development officer for VTF. And then Madam Linda Ej is also a development specialist with over 2 decades of experience in TVET, and she is the director for VTF and a host of other things that they do. Thank you so much for the discussion today. Very insightful over there. And so I know you've taken a lot from today's conversation, talking about networking in this September's edition. And so we'll be coming to you with other issues as well, other topics that are very insightful to help your business to get a good treat. My name is Mavis Nakole Ayi, and this has been brought to you by the Development and Social Services Department in collaboration with PCG TV and sponsored by Salem Water and Salem range of products. So we come your way again in the next edition. We say keep working and keep working at your networks and your relationships for your business to thrive.